Hey there, it is I, Darth Blink. Just an update on how things are going for me. Um, I've found some form of peace. I've started to read the book The Daily Stoic, where every day for 1 year they give you a topic to meditate and really concentrate on in order to better control yourself and your responses to outward stimuli. Um, and to come to the realization that it is pointless to have an emotional response to things that are outside of your control. And the way that it's described is such as the rain. Whenever black clouds come in, we assume to expect the rain, and although it may be harmful to our daily desire, we're not sitting there crying and upset and just miserable for the rest of our lives over rain. And such as that is a thing that we cannot control, so is many other things in our lives. And it makes no sense to be emotionally distressed or upset with those things that are outside of one's control. For example, relationships. If people don't want to be in your life or don't want to be with you, that's outside of your control. All you can do is try to be the best partner you can be and be happy in the fact that that's what you're doing, is trying to be the best partner. It doesn't matter what happens after you try to be the best partner. The happiness should come from the fact that you are the best partner you can be, not the outward stimuli of the effect from that, because that can lead to disappointment and sadness when you um, have expectations that are outside of your control. Another example that's used in Stoicism is, you can become the best archer you can be. You can learn the proper techniques of holding a bow, of pulling the arrow back, of perfect alignment, having the best bow available, having arrows, the best arrows available, keeping your equipment in top pristine condition. But the second you let go of that arrow and it's flying towards its target, a million things can happen to impede its arrival to its desired destination. One, a gust of wind. Two, a roaming animal that just randomly sprints. Three, the target moves. If it's a live target, it can move. There's so many different things. And so the gratification of the shot should not come from the outcome. It should come from the practice and the honing of the skill and everything within your control for the shot. That's where the gratification of the shot should come from, not its desired targets, because that's something you do not have control over realistically. And with that being said, I'm reading a book called The Daily Stoic. And like I said, so the first day, the meditation, I'm really focusing on it today, is being able to recognize those things you do have control over from those things you do not, and being able to tell the difference within the two. And then once you're able to tell the difference within the two, learning or setting with it and just letting go, opening up to the fact that I don't have control over these things. Therefore, it makes no sense for me to let a negative emotional responses control my life with events that I have no influence over. So that's day one of what I'm doing. And so I'm setting and meditating and thinking about it. And it's hard, of course, because there's some things that we have no control over that we wish we did. For example, my blindness. I have no control over that, and yet I felt shame for it, and I still do, in all honesty, for over a decade, because it's the way that people treat me, which is something I have no control over, has changed based off of my blindness, which is something I also have no control over, you know? And so, therefore, since I have no control over it, the way people treat me because of it, you know, it's not something I should concern myself with. And being blind is something I have no control over, so that's something I should also not concern myself with. I should only try to focus on the things that I do have control over, like my education. I definitely have a control over my education. Um, my skill level with screen readers, I have control over that by practice and practice and practice. There are things I do have control over, and I need to make sure to be able to distinguish between the two and try to really hone the skills that I have for myself, for the for my own betterment, regardless to the outward perspective of others, and regardless to the outward, um, results. It's all about being better every day by my own standard, by things that I can be better at, and not getting frustrated or defeated or have a defeatist perception on the things I cannot control. Like my blind cane. I have control over what I do and do not learn when it comes to new locations. But I don't have control of whether or not I need to use the blind cane. I do. But what I learn whenever it comes to new locations on campus, for example, I'm learning a new building this year, the HHS building, which is the pilot campus across from campus. That's where like the social work stuff is. That's a new building for me. I have control over what I learn in there in order to navigate to a degree. And so it's important that I do my best to learn what it is I need to learn to be successful and to be the best I can be. I have control over a lot of things in my life. My hair, my body, and my education level, my friends, my heartache. You have control over whether or not someone has the ability to hurt you. You really do, because they can. There's okay, and allow me to explain this. A person can say whatever they want about you and act however they want about you, but the way that you perceive the knowledge is different. The way that your perception of the knowledge is whether or not you take it as personal or you don't take it out at all. That's a choice you have to make. You can choose to not let it affect you, but you can't choose whether or not the person is going to say mean and hateful things. So I'm sitting with that today, and I'm seeing where it goes from here. So I honestly don't know what comes next, and I'm not reading ahead. I'm literally taking it one day at a time as it's suggested to do. Because I was like, oh, I can just read through this whole thing and understand it. But no, that's not the point of the book. The point of the book, and I suggest anyone pick it up if you really want to try to make changes in your life, is to set with that one idea for a day, because you're building the foundation blocks of changing your mindset. And that's the key here, is becoming the best you can be, and being okay with that. And where things go from here, I'll be excited. So that's day one. I'm trying to work on some self discipline today, as well. So I'm going to sit down and actually write some more of my book. And I'm also going to walk at least 25,000 steps today. And I'm just working on self improvement. I'm focusing on being the best me I can be. Therefore, I can have the best life I can have by feeling accomplished within myself, and regardless to where it takes me. You know, I think that's the whole point of this stoicism. And people assume when you say someone's stoic, that means that they're like emotionalists, really. But that's not the point of a stoicism. It's to detach yourself from external stimuli so that that doesn't influence your personal belief of yourself. You know, your personal accomplishments should not be reflected by external stimuli. But this has been Darth Blint. I have the control over what I put in my videos and whether or not they get uploaded. But I don't have control what happens to them the second they're online. So that's the point of a stoicism. So this is day one. Enjoy the journey. If you guys want to take the journey with me, the Daily Stoic, it's on Audible, it's on ebook. You can get it as a physical book, whatever medium you personally use, you can pick it up. And you too can join me on this journey of becoming a better you and being proud of that. So, yeah, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you want to subscribe or leave a comment, by all means, feel free to. I will respond to all the comments and move forward. And nothing is off topic. I'll just put it at that. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow.